Let us take a closer look at a flower. Recall the reproductive parts of a plant. The stamens are the male reproductive part and the pistil is the female reproductive part. Here you see two different types of flowers. What do you observe about the presence of the stamen and pistil? Flowers such as those of corn, papaya and cucumber contain either only the pistil or only the stamen. These flowers are called unisexual flowers, whereas mustard, rose and petunia have bisexual flowers. They contain both the pistil and the stamens. A bisexual flower has both the male and the female reproductive parts. Anther contains pollen grains which produce male gametes. A pistil consists of stigma, style and ovary. The ovary contains one or more ovules. The female gamete or the egg is formed in an ovule. Recall that for sexual reproduction, it is necessary that the male gamete and the female gamete have to come together. The male gamete and the female gamete fuse to form a zygote. How does the male gamete in the pollen grain reach the female gamete present in the ovule? Generally, pollen grains have a tough protective coat which prevents them from drying up. Since pollen grains are light, they can be carried by wind or water. Insects visit flowers and carry away pollen on their bodies. Some of the pollen lands on the stigma of a flower of the same kind. The transfer of pollen from the anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. If the pollen lands on the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. When the pollen of a flower lands on the stigma of another flower of the same plant or that of a different plant of the same kind, it is called cross-pollination. How do plants produce fruits? The stigma receives the pollen grains. The pollen germinates to produce a long tube which moves down the style and enters the ovary. Pollen tube contains the male gamete and fuses with the female gamete in the ovules. The cell which results after fusion of the gametes is called a zygote. The process of fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote is called fertilization. The zygote develops into an embryo. After fertilization, the ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the flower fall off. The fruit is the ripened ovary. The seeds develop from the ovules. The seed contains an embryo enclosed in a protective seed coat. Some fruits are fleshy and juicy, such as mango, apple, and orange. Some fruits are hard, like almonds and walnuts.